这么多房子都是空的。
So many houses are empty, with fewer than 10 households living there. Look at all these buildings, including that row behind. Nobody lives there. The country keeps talking about revitalizing Northeast China, but how can it be revitalized if there's nobody here?
这个小镇已经快变成
This small town is almost a ghost town. This is the main street, the most bustling commercial street. These houses have completely collapsed. Nobody cares, which means nobody lives there. The houses are like this. The newly built buildings in front still have a few people living there, but look at all of them. It's around 6 p.m. now. All the shops are closed. In recent years, the economies of the 3 northeastern provinces of China have remained sluggish, with a large-scale outflow of population and a pension system on the verge of collapse. The Northeast phenomenon has become a focus of national attention. The so-called Northeast phenomenon refers to a series of serious problems in the region's economy, population, and social structure, including the difficulty in transforming heavy industry and unbalanced population structure and the precipitous economic decline. Have you noticed that there are fewer and fewer people in Shenyang this year? The streets are much quieter. Seeing the more popular professionals like designated drivers, DD drivers, and food delivery drivers, some of the salaries are pitifully low. A monthly salary of $570. After deducting rent and utilities, how much is left? In Shenyang, do you think there are still opportunities? Isn't the economy doomed? The real economy isn't looking good. On the street, less than 500 meters long, over a dozen shops are for transferring, 1, 2, 3 at a time. The food stalls and mahjong parlors aren't making money, and now even the clinic is for sale. You don't know until you visit here. The real economy is tough. It's terrifying. This restaurant is closed too. I used to eat there. It was pretty good. It's scary. It just disappeared like that. This is our village of over 300 households. Back then, when you had time to hang on the main street, you saw old people and children chatting and laughing. It was quite a lively scene. Children from Northeast China are leaving home again, heading south once a year. The hometown can't accommodate the body, and the foreign land can't hold the soul. When will Northeast China be developed so my son won't have to leave home anymore? It's heartbreaking. After leaving Northeast China, you'll find Northeasterners everywhere, just nobody in the Northeast itself, especially young people. We went back to our hometown recently, and when we were waiting for the train at Harbin Station, it was obvious that everyone was middle-aged or elderly. Harbin still has some liveliness, but back in my hometown, it feels much quieter, with even fewer people. The main streets are deserted. My aunt runs an internet cafe there, and she says fewer people come to use it. What's the liveliest thing in my hometown? The market day, but even there are hardly any people. When I was a child, there were 10 classes per grade in my school, with over 50 students per class. Now there are only 4 classes per grade, with about 30 students per class. The blogger says that in the past 10 years, Heilongjiang has lost approximately 7 million people. To put it another way, it's equivalent to 3 passenger planes carrying 500 people each day, taking people away from this land. For example, 3 of her family's children live elsewhere, 1 in Beijing, 2 in Hangzhou, and her mother also moved to Hangzhou with her. Her 2 uncles, however, remain in their hometown. This family situation reflects a common reality in their hometown. Children leave home either to take their elderly parents with them or leave the parents alone. Some people ask, why is Northeast China so poor? I'm puzzled too. Northeast China has grain, with a 600% self-sufficiency rate, feeding 1/3 of the Chinese population. It can't be poor from selling grain. Northeast China has coal, so it can't be poor from selling coal. Northeast China has oil, so it can't be poor from oil. Northeast China has steel, capable of manufacturing airplanes, cannons, helicopters, fighter jets, tanks, submarines, warships, and aircraft carriers. By all accounts, it can't be poor. The sluggish economy of Northeast China is a consequence of the CCP's thorough implementation of planned economic policies and state ownership in the region. Northeast China, once a testing ground for the CCP regime, has now become its biggest victim. In 1998, industries across mainland China suffered widespread losses, and the CCP implemented reforms. As a former industrial base, northeast China endured predatory and forced reforms, leading to massive unemployment. The local economy teetered on the brink of collapse, the government was helpless, and people were forced to leave their homes and migrate elsewhere. The CCP regime was most thoroughly implemented in northeast China, causing the most severe damage to society. The consequences are now becoming apparent.
姐妹们，我不敢去找工作。
Sisters, I'm afraid to look for a job. I'm in Dalian now, and I've been unemployed since the Lunar New Year. For half a year now, I still haven't found a suitable job. Why is it so hard to find a job in Dalian? If I hadn't come home and seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have known that Meiherko's economy is so bad now. The past 2 years have seen the most severe population loss in northeast China. People are going abroad, going to work in other places, leaving almost no one at home. Take Meiherko, for example, a place with a population of 600,000, now only about 200,000 remain. And now that I'm back, I see this breakfast shop behind me. It was there before I left. It's been open for many years, but now it's for rental and transfer. I have watched the businesses on this street change hands again and again. The blogger lamented that the current economic downturn is even more bleak than when she left 2 years ago. No wonder many young people choose to leave northeast China to seek opportunities elsewhere. She said that when she was abroad, she always longed to go home, but now that she's actually back, she doesn't know where to go. If she works, she can only earn $500 a month, a meager income. If she starts a business, she needs $20,000 in capital. Faced with reality, she feels very lost. Everyone knows that northeast China suffers from severe population loss, especially Heilongjiang. What is the real situation in our rural areas? Saying that 9 out of 10 houses in this rural street are empty might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it's close enough. 7 or 8 out of 10 households are gone. No one lives there. This whole row of houses is empty. It's not been just a year or two. My former alma mater, Taishan Middle School, used to have over 1,000 students in junior high. Now, including junior high, primary school, and teachers, there are probably only about 200. Blogger Xiao Yu said that many rural people have moved to the city, mainly because heating in winter is too troublesome. In rural areas, people typically rely on coal for heating. For a 100 square meter house, the coal cost alone can reach $500 for a winter. And the owner has to carry coal in, empty the ashes, and clean the stove daily. It's both expensive and labor-intensive. In contrast, living in an apartment in the city for the same 100 square meters would only cost $400 for heating for one winter, and there's no need to worry about carrying coal. He also mentioned that local housing prices are not high. Good floors in ordinary buildings, such as the second or third floor, cost about $280 per square meter, while higher floors such as the 5th or 6th floor cost only $140 per square meter. Because of the affordable prices, many people choose to buy condos in the city. I saw a video online today that cracked me up in the comments. Why? It said, "Please cherish the northeasterners around you. They're about to become an endangered species." Because on the 26th, data came out saying that Heilongjiang has the lowest birth rate in the country, followed by Jilin and then Liaoning. I used to see posts on Douyin about the low birth rate in northeast China, but I never really noticed it. My child's kindergarten is also quite crowded, so I didn't feel anything. Yesterday, I was chatting with my mom and she said, in the past 10 years, my village has only had one child, just my child. I heard that next month, my uncle's family in the greenhouse will have another baby, but in 10 years, only 2. In 2021, the birth rate in the 3 northeastern provinces was only 0.43%. Even South Korea, with the lowest fertility rate globally, has a rate of 0.5%. The Northeast fertility rate is even lower than South Korea's. And this may only be the beginning, because starting in 2030, our country will enter the death phase of the baby boomer generation. The number of deaths in the entire Northeast could reach nearly 3 million annually. Combined with the long-term population loss, the Northeast annual population decline could reach as high as 5 million, while the number of births may be less than 100,000 per year. According to the latest data, as of the end of 2024, the total population of the 3 northeastern provinces is approximately 95 million. The population has decreased by approximately 4 million compared to 2020. Since its peak in 2010, northeast China has lost over 14 million people. If starting in 2030 the population continues to decline at a rate of 5 million people per year, then in another 20 years the entire population of Northeast China will be almost entirely wiped out.
东北要是再这么发展下去啊，比东北虎都得珍贵。
If Northeast China continues to develop like this, it will be even more precious than the Siberian tiger, almost becoming an endangered species. Why do I say that? The birth rate is too low. 380,000 are born a year, but 1 million leave. What a proportion! We go back to our villages now, no matter it's brick houses, tile houses, or mud houses. Some have 2 or 3 stories, but mainly no one lives there. They're all empty. It's the same in the county towns. All the young people have left. It's mostly grandparents taking their grandchildren to school. So who do you think will revitalize the entire Northeast? The blogger said that now when you travel to Sanya, you can hear Northeastern accents as soon as you get off the plane. When you arrive in Yunnan, you'll find that many ride-hailing drivers and guest house owners are from Northeast China. Blogger Da Hanhan is from the south. She said that before coming to Shenyang, she often saw online reviews suggesting that Northeasterners were prone to drinking and fighting, and that their speech sounded like arguing. But after actually arriving in Shenyang, she discovered that the reality is completely different. She hailed a taxi as soon as she got off the plane. Because her luggage was heavy, she couldn't carry it herself and felt hesitant to bother the driver. Before she could even ask, the driver proactively put her luggage in the trunk. Along the way, the driver chatted enthusiastically with her, asking where she was from and recommending many local delicacies, urging her to try them. At that moment, she realized that her impressions of Northeasterners were completely wrong, and what surprised her even more was that she found the prices in Shenyang to be very cheap. The second point I really have to mention is that the prices here are incredibly low. A bowl of beef noodles is only $1, and the beef in it is huge. You know what? The chunks of meat are enormous. Let me tell you, for the same price where I'm from, you get at most a small bowl of vegetarian noodles with 2 small green vegetables in it, and even that's considered pretty good. Also, the people here are really warm and welcoming. I've been in Guangdong for 15 years. I own a home and a car, and my life is relatively stable. But every time someone asks me where I'm from, I always eagerly and proudly tell them, I'm from Northeast China. Every time I hear news about Northeast China, I get especially interested. Maybe this is the deep-seated longing for home that's ingrained in the bones of someone who's been away from home for 15 years. After 15 years away, I've gradually gotten used to the lifestyle in Guangdong, but I always think to myself, I have to go back to the Northeast China. I have to go back to Northeast China. I have to go back to Northeast China. Now, every time I think about going back to Northeast China, I feel a little sad because I know that there is a less and less possibility to go back. It's understood that Northeast China is experiencing a severe population outflow, with most young people going to work. Since the pandemic, many middle-aged and elderly people have passed away, and in recent years, numerous abandoned villages and towns have emerged. Miss Wang from Chengchuan, Jilin Province told reporters, "Our village hasn't had a newborn for several years. The children are all gone, and the school is abandoned and collapsed. The birth rate in Northeast China is particularly low, and elderly people continue to die every year. More and more houses are empty, and their value isn't high. Those who can afford it have basically bought condos in the city." Miss Liu from Shibajian Forest Farm in Daxingganling Mountains of Heilongjiang Province said that the area used to have tens of thousands of people, and many people from the south even set up timber processing plants. Now the industry has declined, the population has dwindled, and many people have moved away. Mr. Li from Suihua, Heilongjiang Province said, "Our northeast is full of graves. Only about 10 households and 20 people remain in the village. Those who have left don't come back for the Chinese New Year, and the deceased are no longer brought back for burial. Look at this scene. Doesn't it chill your heart? I stayed on this land, born here, and I will return here to die." Hunchuan City is located at the junction of China, North Korea, and Russia. Most villagers choose to work abroad or even emigrate overseas, leading to a depopulation in the border area. In recent years, subsidy policies have been introduced to encourage villagers to return and settle down. Mr. Zhang from Hunchuan Jilin Province said, "Working abroad is much better than working in China. In China, the same job earns $500 a month. Abroad, you can earn $3,000, so almost everyone in our village has gone abroad. Now, with border subsidies for rural houses, the elderly have moved back and aren't selling their houses anymore. Each person receives a subsidy of $420 a year, and if there are many people in the family, the cost of the house is recouped in a few years. Many villagers in northeast China reveal that rural house prices are incredibly low, with houses with yards available for a few thousand to tens of thousands of RMB. However, many houses lack property certificates, making transfers impossible. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.